Hello everybody, happy Friday. It is Cheri Bant. I am back again. I'm back again for my accountability, my weekly update, eating whole food plant-based or living whole food plant-based. I am on week, let me see what week I'm on week 22. I don't know how long I'm going to do these actually, because you might be thinking that, like, are you going to do this every week forever? Maybe, I don't know. But I still like it because it's good for me to think about what I'm going to share on Friday. Kind of makes me think about, what things I've done throughout the week. It's a way for me to look back, be reflective of my week and how it went, and then I can share it with you. So if it can help anybody else, that's great too. But really, the reason that I started doing these videos is just some accountability to see how living whole food plant-based would work. And it's worked. So, okay, so update. 2:31 when I was in the hospital, and weighed in this morning at 160, down another 2 pounds. So that's officially breaking that 70-pound mark. So 71 pounds I've lost totally. Oh, that's a lot. That's a stinking lot of weight. That's like, I don't know, a Nutrisystem commercial, right? They put those people on there. You can lose this weight too if you, eat my prepackaged poop. But whatever. I just had to say that. Anyways, yes, 71 pounds. So that's kind of a huge deal. Happy about that. It's been a good week. Oh, let me talk a couple things. I'm sitting here today and I was writing down a few of the things that I wanted to share, but it just, something popped into my head. As of last Friday afternoon, I know I had shared last week, it was Rachel's birthday. We had like Papa John's pizza, blah, blah, blah. One of our kids, again, got sick again. He kind of was sniffly. We ate the pizza, he got more sick, whatever. I don't know that the pizza was it, but obviously it was like some kind of creepy crud going around again. And multiple of the kids got it again. So, we just gotten over being ill, and then now that, I ended up not feeling well on after I did my video Friday. I do these in the afternoon, upload them, in the evening. So it was by evening time when I was uploading, I wasn't feeling too good. I had a bad sore throat, which I don't even have my tonsils. So sore throats for me are pretty unusual. It usually is illness if I have them, not tonsil irritation or anything like that. Sometimes I'll have a, scratchy throat from allergies. I haven't really had that much since I started the diet, but in the past I'd had that. So I'm like, I'm getting it. I'm getting the stuff. And it's so funny. It's so funny because I was kind of pissed, to be honest. I'm like, what do you mean I'm getting sick? I can't get sick, right? So I didn't feel too great Friday night. I still did all my walking. I didn't do as much as I maybe would have on the weekend. But I still did my walking every day, a couple times a day, my 3+ miles a day, which I do every day. My 2 walks that equal that. But anyway, so I didn't cut back on that. I still lifted on Sunday, still ate the same. I did right away. I went and got kiwis because I know that they're like really high in vitamin C, drank my lemon water, did all the things to try to get, just a little added, try to do some more natural stuff. The other thing was I had a headache. I woke up with a headache. I have not had a headache since we started this. Those first 2 weeks, I remember kind of feeling kind of crappy and having headaches that when I first started eating this way. And then I haven't had any headaches since then. So it was kind of bad, but not horrible. I just felt like I was fighting something off. And that's the way it went through the weekend. And I had a couple, some congestion, little more congestion, but not to where I was blowing my nose all the time, throughout this week. But now as of today, I'm fine. And it just was a little bit, my body was kind of, so the kids got pretty sick. Nobody had fevers, but lots of snotty nose, cough. And it was only the 3 younger ones that really, went all to town on the cheese pizza or whatever, which I think probably contributed because we haven't done that. And then their body, they get exposed to something, their body hasn't been having those things, and then the inflammation starts, and then I think that probably contributes to them getting, more chance of getting sick. The rest of the kids didn't get sick. But long story short, I think I probably did way better. I fared better because of how I'm eating. But I have to say, it did kind of make me mad because I'm like, I shouldn't get sick. I'm eating so well, right? But I didn't get really bad. It was totally manageable. It really didn't, disrupt my day. Just a couple days of just feeling not 100%. So, but I'm back. I'm back to 100%. So I had to share that. I'd forgotten I didn't have that in my notes. The other thing is I haven't done my Friday 5 mile. It looks like this, maybe I'm going to get some sun. It was really raining kind of hard. I got my, my walk in this morning, but so we'll have to see if I get that in, because it was pouring earlier and I didn't really want to walk 5 miles in pouring rain. I know I should still, but I didn't want to. So, so just being honest. Okay. So yeah. All right. So the other thing is, you know, I've transitioned from, when I started this, I was like teetering on a size 22, 24, somewhere in there. Probably closer to, I'm not going to lie, probably closer to a 24. I had a lot of 22 clothing. And then I got to where I'm down to like a 14, right? Not anymore, guys. I am a 12 all the stinking way. Like medium almost. Like, not out of the large. With a lot of information, maybe too much information, I had to go buy more underwear. And reason being is I do so much walking, it can't be loose, or, you know, even though I have my tight pants, it causes a little problem. I won't talk about what that problem is, but it can cause a little problem with all the walking that I do. So I had to, yes. So anyways, 22, maybe 24 to a 12 in less than 6 months. Holy shit, guys. That's all I can say. And again, if you just stumble on this, I want to be totally transparent. This has probably been the easiest thing I've ever done. I've done all kinds of stuff and it was hard. And that's going to transition into my next thing. Something I realized this last week is I've had a few people who have reached out. I've been asking some questions because I'm researching with all of my friends, and I used to have a pretty big craft page on Facebook, and I've kind of, you know, I'm not really doing that anymore, but I asked them, and I asked like on my personal page about keto and low carb diets, because I'm just out of curiosity. I want to see out of the people I know who are eating in that method, because how I'm eating would be considered, you know, it's whole foods, but it's plant-based whole foods, but it's high carb. It's very much high carb. Like my breakfast is, you know, like 150 carbs or something. I calculated out. On an average day, I'm doing anywhere from 250 carbs to 400 carbs, depending on what I eat. That's a lot. When people are telling me they're only having 50 carbs a day or 20 carbs a day. So anyways, and I remember eating that way too. You know, I remember doing just meat and cheese. That was my diet, and it was killing me. And I have to tell you, any of you out there who stumble on this, that watch this on my page, friends and family, I just want to tell you, you can lose weight on a keto diet, low carb diet. You can absolutely lose weight. You can lower your A1C, but what it's doing to you internally is not good. It, you know, it puts oxidative stress on your body in a way that you're still building plaques and things from the high fat. You could still just boom, heart attack. And that's the number one killer, and it's because of the fat in our diet. And there is no way, I mean, there are people who do a vegan low carb diet, which makes no sense to me, but maybe I'll learn more about that in the nutrition stuff I'm learning, but that really makes no sense. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that. There might be some medical reasons why. I do know that like keto diets work for, I think it's kids that are epileptic or have seizures, maybe. I think that I had heard something about that. I don't know offhand, but so I think there might be some medical reasons why, but eating a like high fat, low carb diet, it's killing your insides. It'll kill you slowly. That's what it was doing to me. Poisoning my liver, poisoning my kidneys, you know, all the fun things. Oh, it was making my vision blurry. Let's see, what else problems did I have? You know, lots of swelling, lots of aches and pains, and I don't have any of that anymore. Okay, so anyways, what I want to talk about is I've had a few people reaching out to me, which I love. I'm happy to help anyone. I'm open book to share this with you, and I hope to learn more and more so that I can be of more benefit to helping others doing exactly what I'm doing. And I'm working on that. We'll talk about that in a minute. But something I realized, even in this world of whole food, plant-based eating, or veganism, whatever you want to call it, that, you know, obviously I started this for health reasons, not ethical ones. But you know, there's some definite perks on what eating this way can do, aside from just making you healthy. But anyway, something I realized as I was trying to put together some information for some people that are interested in what I'm doing, how I started this. I did not start, like I watched Forks Over Knives. That's what the doctor prescribed. And then he gave me a little packet. of information. And I kind of skimmed through it. Food as medicine. And it talked about the portion size. Like, you need so many servings of this and so many servings of that. Ask me if that's what I ascribed to. Nope, I didn't. Not from the beginning. I'm going to be totally honest here. I didn't, even though it says, make sure you're having this many servings of this and you need to have balance. Of course you need to have balance. But something that I did was I knew we needed to eat whole food plant-based. I knew we needed vegetables and the starch and, all of that. But I didn't really overthink it. I didn't say, oh my gosh, am I getting enough protein? Oh my gosh, is this meal well-rounded? Am I getting whatever? And something that I've learned is in this whole food movement, if you're coming into it, one of the ways that we have such issue in our society today about nutrition is because we're so fucking confused. We're so confused because everybody tells you this, or they tell you that, or they do this. And you see people that have lost weight and they've, their A1C is down, like someone on keto, right? So you're like, well, shit, that works for them. So there, I'll try that. Or, they did Nutrisystem, or they did the shake diet, or they did this, or Cheri's doing the whole food plant-based diet. And you don't know. You have no idea. And you go to your doctor and they fucking don't know, right? And I'm sorry for the cussing, but it's frustrating for me. So there's all this damn confusion out there and you don't know what the hell to do. All you know is you feel like shit and you want to eat okay and you want to do, and then after a certain point, you're like, screw it. Why even bother? Because no matter what I do, I can't lose weight. No matter what I do, I'm still sick. No matter what I do, I still have to take medication. And you just give up. And I think we're at a state in our society of just like saying overload of information. Everybody's got the answer. Blah, 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 right? It's just too much. But this is the thing that I was realizing is I'm researching because I didn't know anything about the whole food plant-based movement. I knew nothing. I didn't care to learn before I tried this. So I didn't know who Dr. Greg or Dr. McDougall or Dr. Esselstyn or, I didn't know any of the people that are like the big players in the whole food plant-based movement. But I will say everything that they are all, and we'll say it preaching, is very similar. But if we get into the minutia of each of what they feel, like Dr. McDougall does, like a 50-50 plate, he focuses on starches. He doesn't call it veganism. You got Dr. Greger, who has his daily dozen, and he has just a small amount of nuts and seeds in there, and each of the groups, and you make sure you check it off and you get your 90 minutes of exercise. Or you have Esselstyn, who was a heart doctor, or was, and he focusing his, all of his attention on your endothelial cells. So you should get like 5 servings of greens a day so that you can keep them all smooth and not getting the plaques. And it's all good stuff. But for someone coming into this movement, if you're a digger, like I'm a digger, I just trusted for whatever reason in the beginning of this. I just went and I went to the produce section and I got the fruits and vegetables that I felt like, that I liked, and I got rice because I could eat it, and I whole grain pastas, and shop at Aldi. I still buy canned goods that aren't necessarily low sodium, and I know that some people would be like adamant, do not use canned goods with the high sodium. I do the best I can. And that's what I've done all along. And that's what I think is the answer, is understanding that the whole food plant-based eating is a fabulous thing and it all is great, but not getting so into the minutia that we're wanting to know how many calories, how many pounds, how many things. That's the beauty of like what I've done is, and I should have got it. A lot of times you'll see if I take pictures, if you watch on Facebook or Instagram, I'll take a picture of my food and it's in paper because we don't have a dishwasher. And I should, for the environment. I realize people don't get on me. I know that we're throwing away a lot of stuff, but we have a small septic. We have a septic system, and there's a lot of us here, and we use a lot of water, and we don't have a dishwasher, and we do a lot of laundry. So we kind of have to watch our resources. So we use a lot of paper because we have to throw stuff away to help on the water consumption going through our drain field. So that is probably more information than you needed, but something that we do is we get these paper bowls from Aldi, and that is mainly what I eat, is a paper bowl. So I've not limited my portion sizes, but I will tell you a couple things I've done. This way of eating, has afforded me the ability to know when I'm full, when I didn't before. I was not satiated, which means I did not have any understanding of when I was full. I will tell you, like if you think about calorie density and oil, right? And it, before I was eating heavy fats, like a lot of meats and cheeses, and you think about a piece of cheese and how many calories are in that and how much it takes up in your tummy. So you think of a piece of cheese and how many calories, and I should know that and I don't because I don't eat it. And in meat, again, you know, high calories, high fat, doesn't take up a lot of room. That's why you can eat a lot of like, because I honestly, guys, I could probably eat like several hamburgers before. And it just wasn't taking up a lot of room. So now, because I'm eating such low calorie dense foods, lots of things that absorb a lot of water, it takes up more room in your stomach. But a couple things that I've done is I plate up my food. I get what I get. Usually, you know, I don't even think about it. I think, like, you know, I will say in the beginning, I was afraid of potatoes. I was afraid of rice. I was afraid of pasta because before it would make me feel so awful, you know. But now I could take some heaping servings of rice and then I get my veg, you know, whatever. And a lot of times I do mix greens into what I'm eating so that I can get my greens in, or I have a salad. If I don't feel like dealing with dressing, I just mix the greens into what I'm eating. Whenever we have pasta with sauce, I just throw a handful of greens into what I'm having, and then I get them that way. But anyways, I eat that bowl. If I'm hungry, I give myself a little bit. If I'm still hungry, I go back and get more. But I generally, that's usually all I need. But what I was going to say is, it can get really confusing if you're so hung up on all the servings. Now, I realize when you transition to a diet like this that, you know, it's so different from what you're used to. You're worried about not getting enough of things because it's been drilled into your head, protein, protein, protein. And you're like, ooh, but what should I make sure that I'm getting enough of the protein from the plants that I'm eating? And I'll just tell you, your body, you just intuitively, if you listen to it, it'll tell you. It'll tell you. So anyways, I just wanted to share that because I think the other thing was I was thinking about recipes that I use. In the beginning, you know, I used Forks Over Knives, the meal planner. I still have it. I still utilize some of the recipes from there. I don't use it to plan my meals. Now we have our set things that we do. We do it in rotation. But I'll use it to go look for other recipes. I'll get on McDougall's site, Dr. McDougall, and look for recipes on their site. I'll go to the Centers for Nutrition Studies. I'll get on their website and look for stuff. And I think sometimes, though, you'll look for these recipes and they're so complicated compared to how you would have normally cooked. And there's a lot of things in them that you wouldn't normally have in your kitchen as you're transitioning to this. For anybody who's new at this, if you stumble on this or any of the people that I've sent information to, do not overthink it. Just do simple is better. Keeping it simple will make it easier for you. So don't feel like you have to do all the things. As you want to like cook or explore or get into more stuff, then, you know, do that. But I didn't, in the beginning, I like got nutritional yeast. I'd never had nutritional yeast. I wasn't a big fan in the beginning. Now I love it. But it took a little bit for me to figure out which kind I loved. You know, like just like you eat certain things, you like them. Don't feel like you have to, you know, like I have a lot of people telling me they don't like vegetables. And I'm sure you do. You just think of vegetables like maybe I don't like to eat salads or maybe I don't. You can work in what you like. But sometimes you haven't been exposed to them in a way to even know that you like them. So anyways, I just wanted to share that I think in our life, it's so many times we live in back to Colin Campbell and his whole book, and he talks about the reductionist way that we do medicine, and it's like that in society. We want to funnel in, like, you know, you want to go find your people. You know, the people, like when you're thinking about socially, you get on social media, you go to groups that have people that are interested in things like you. And with food, you want to know, like we look at the labels, and you should be reading labels. You definitely, you know, want to be, but we get hung up on everything being independent of each other. And your body doesn't work independent. Like my eyes work with my whole body. You know, all of it works together. So when we're eating, it all works together. Just don't get hung up. Same thing with like emotionally and socially, and our stress and our sleeping and how much water and exercise. All of it makes a difference in how we feel. But I will say, now in wrapping this part up, the food, it's food first, guys. It's food first. You can't exercise enough to make up for a poor diet. You just can't. And food first. And that will help you. The whole food plant-based, eating your plants, will help you to get the energy to be able to move your body. And I will tell you, you eat like this, you're going to want to. So you're going to have so much energy, you won't know what to do with yourself. And I know that that sounds crazy, but it's absolutely true. I walk 3 miles a day because I have to now. And I want to. And maybe I'll get to do my 5 if it stays sunny. So anyways, so don't overcomplicate it, and don't get overwhelmed. If it starts to get too much noise, if you're learning about this way of eating, funnel in on something that speaks to you, whether in the movement, like a doctor, a person, a thing, and kind of just follow them. Don't necessarily feel like you have to, like, it's good to learn all the things. That's what I'm doing. But sometimes in that, it can get a little like, oh, am I doing this right? Am I doing that right? Or this person does it this way, or that person. You just have to do what works best for you within the realm of eating whole food plant-based. So get rid of the dairy first and foremost. Get rid of the meat, and then start, focusing eating whole food plant-based. Cut the oil out. Try not to eat the refined foods. Your life will be changed forever. It will be. I can promise you. And I shouldn't do that, but I can promise you that it will. It'll make a huge difference for you. And if it doesn't, call me up, because we'll have a conversation. Because I know that eating this way can be life-changing for anyone. Unless you're, allergic to all fruits and vegetables, which I don't think anyone is. Okay. So to finish this up, guess what I did? Okay, so I started a week ago. So a week from Wednesday, this past Wednesday, I started my Colin Campbell, the nutrition studies, the plant-based nutrition certificate program. So my first section was nutrition and society. I have you have 2 weeks to work on that section, and then I start diseases of affluence. So I finished it on Wednesday. I finished it this past Wednesday. So it didn't take me 2 weeks. It took me only a week, and it was amazing. Again, learning a lot of stuff about even politics and oh my gosh, guys. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. But it's good stuff. Lots of information. I'll definitely be sharing lots more about it at the end when I'm done with everything. But yeah, I had to write about picking out supplements, because that's something, and I'll finish up with supplements. Before doing this, I had mentioned this before, but I was a big proponent of Melaleuca vitamins and supplements. I took them for years and years and years, and I was spending about $100 or more a month on the supplements that I took, and I felt like that was the only way I could get energy. I couldn't be without my supplements. And now I don't take any of those, none of them. And I do think do I think that they do some good? Sure, but it's unregulated. So let's have a quick chat. And I know I'm 23 minutes in, but a quick chat about people. You think about taking medicines that are prescribed by a physician, right? And then you and I both know that lots of drugs out there, we have a pill for everything, right? And then you take it, and then 6 years later, they're pulling it off the market because it causes cancer, blah, 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 right? That's a regulated market, right? Regulated. And there's a lot of studies that are done by the pharmaceutical companies on their own drugs. Same thing for supplements. But it's not really regulated. So there's nothing to... You can have too much of stuff. There's too much of a good thing, and there's no one there to monitor you taking this with a condition you might have and some pills you might take. And so what I'm saying is, with supplementation, you have to be very careful. I think because you can end up making yourself more sick. Even with some of the benefits. And I know that there are people that swear by doing certain things, and I understand that, because I will tell you, without taking those pills, I'm not sure that I would have been able to do what I did for as long as I did. Because when I didn't take them, I felt so rotten, and that was because of what I was eating, guys. That's because of what I was eating. So anyways, I'll close there. I'm excited to share with you. I start again the diseases of affluence. I'll start that next Wednesday. So I'll have a little bit to share with you when I record this next Wednesday, what I'm learning there. And the other thing that I will be starting is I had signed up for the Plant Forward workshop series through the Centers for Nutrition Studies. It's going to be like so many weeks of workshops, and I'll share with you about that as well. And I'll put a link to that for anybody who's interested, who follows the whole food plant-based movement, who stumbles on this. There's still time to sign up for that workshop series, and there's each week it's something different. Lots of speakers about whole food plant-based living, helping those in the community, and also things about helping the environment as well. So anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. That's the update. I don't have anything else. It's been another good week. All I can say is, if this is something that you're interested in doing, if you need any info at all or just point it in the right direction, I'd be happy to help. If you have any tips for me, I would love to hear them as well. But you all have a blessed one. I will be back next week. Thanks so much. Bye.